What's going on, guys? I'm back here, another video. Yeah, I'm alive. Yeah, I'm okay. Yes, I've been keeping up with free agency as well. And honestly, yes, I wanted to make a rage video on the DK Metcalf trade and the QB situation and just the overall stubbornness with the Steelers with free agency in the offseason so far, but I resisted the urge to do that because here's the thing. When I make rage videos, that means it's because I still have hope with the team and it's because I have an inkling and an ounce of optimism that they can be any good and any competitive. But I've basically felt this way about the Steelers. If I really wanted to be honest with you, I would say since 2022. But at least, 2022, you had an excuse for that because it was our first year without Big Ben. And, I kind of figured that when we got Mitch Trubisky that offseason, we'd be blowing everything up and we'd be rebuilding for real. But these past three seasons, and really the game that just broke me for good with the franchise and just showed me that they're not serious about competing. They're not serious about making a Super Bowl run. The front office, especially, is not doing that. Was Christmas Day against Kansas City. And that's just where I am right now. Okay. Because this past season was just, I'm not kidding when I say it was the most frustrating season I've ever endured as a Steeler fan. Yes, more frustrating than 2018. Because at least with 2018, you knew that they were talented and you knew that they were going to come back and you knew that you could kind of just chop that down as just a fluke, okay? But you knew the drama that was happening. You at least had an excuse for 2018. Last season, they got me thinking that they changed. They got me thinking that they've improved. They got me thinking that they're back to being a contender. Then the gauntlet happened. The Philly game, we never win in Philly. Didn't think much of it. The Ravens game was awful, but their chance to prove to me that they're legit was the Chiefs game on Christmas Day, and they completely and utterly laid an egg. And I've been that way with the Steelers ever since that game. Apathetic, careless, disinterested, and overall just so disconnected. Okay. I've been a Steeler fan for 23 years now. Okay. Almost a quarter of a century. Okay. I've been a Steeler fan majority of my life. All right. I have never felt this disconnected about them in my life. And I know, well, you're just spoiled. You're just sassy. You just have an axe to grind. Oh, you just like hearing yourself talk. You expect too much. Fine, whatever. Call me that all you want. I really don't care. Fine. I guess I'm spoiled. I guess I'm sassy. I'm a meanie head. I'm a bully, whatever. The fact of the matter is, this franchise is not going anywhere, okay? And all you suckers that keep buying in the hype with this offseason with our front office, our GM, our ownership, especially the head coach, you're getting excited for nothing. And I learned this the hard way. And that's actually on me for buying into the hype last year because I should have known better the state of this franchise. I should have known better. So that's on me. You don't lose six playoff games in a row by accident. You don't have the second most one and dones in NFL history by accident. You don't got a head coach that ain't won a playoff game in 8 years on accident. May as well be 9 years, okay? Because his team ain't winning a playoff game. As a matter of fact, screw winning a playoff game. Okay? Screw winning a playoff game. They won't even put up a fight in a playoff game. Even the announcers were saying it in the wild card game. It's like, what Kirk Herbstreit, his exact words were, "Where the hell's the fight in this team? This is the Pittsburgh Steelers." Even when the announcers are noticing it, that's how it is. But anyway, I rambled on for 5 minutes now. I wasted 5 minutes of my time on here. The moves, I'm not impressed. I'm just saying it. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I don't care if you love the moves. I don't care if you think Omar Khan is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't care. I am not impressed with these moves. Because here's the thing, we can sit back and make all the moves we want. Omar Khan can trade for all the players he wants. He can trade for the entire 80s 49ers roster or the 70s Steelers roster all he wants, okay? That's as far as I'm concerned. We won't win anything with Mike Tomlin as head coach. And I've been blowing that horn for 5 years now, and it ain't going to change anytime soon. So let's take a look at what we've done with free agency in the offseason so far. Well, let's see. Um, you got Darius Slay at cornerback. Yeah, 34-year-old washed up quarterback. Oh, but he played with the Philadelphia Eagles and over the past what half decade or so, 3, 4 years or so, however long it's been, and he was in the Super Bowl. You're gonna put a 34-year-old cornerback probably opposite a JPJ. Are you serious? You're that desperate for a corner? When's the last time that this franchise had a solid cornerback? This is just Patrick Peterson all over again from 2023. Remember how much we all hated Patrick Peterson and Levi Wallace back a couple years ago? Guess what? That's what you're getting this year. That's what you're getting with Darius Slay and JPJ. It's exactly what you're getting. Let's see. Inside linebacking course, still a massive hole. Haven't had a good inside linebacker since Ryan Shazier. And you get Malik Harrison. You sign him from the Baltimore Ravens. I was hyped when we got Patrick Queen last year. But again, that's on me because I should know better about you can't trust anyone from a division rival. Anytime we get someone from a division rival, they're either middling at best to just very poor at worst. And Malik Harrison, yeah, he's a hard hitter. I get that. You can't cover he can't cover for shit in pass protection, okay? That's what it is with Malik Harrison. Linebackers today, especially interior linebackers, today they are judged about how they do in pass coverage. And I get that he's a run stuffer, and I know that he's going to be plugging up the holes and, playing press a lot. But that's the thing. How many times have we heard that about the inside linebacking core for the last 7 years? How long have we heard that? That is how long this interior linebacking core has been sus. It has been sus and poor for 7 years. In other words, we haven't found anyone that can play up to Ryan Shazier's potential. And that's why I keep saying Shazier's injury is a bigger loss than the Killer Bees. At least you still had the offensive production with the Killer Bees, and at least we have glimpses of an offense, okay? It's just not on that level. The interior linebacking core, however, has not gotten better at all. And the fact that Patrick Queen was a Pro Bowler last year is an absolute joke. And it just shows you how much of a joke the Pro Bowl truly is. And that's why I haven't watched it in like 15 years. And I have zero doubt I'll be watching it anytime soon. All right. Friggin' Russell Wilson made the Pro Bowl. That's all you got to know about that. Anyway, Malik Harrison, not impressed with that. I'm not expecting anything from him. Like I said, yeah, he's a hard hitter. Yeah, he can stop the run okay. But like I said, if you can't cover and pass protection, you're not a good interior linebacker. And that's how it was with Patrick Queen a lot last year, too. So I'm not expecting anything from Malik Harrison. Basically, anyone that we get from inside the division. Kenneth Gainwell at running back. Oh, this absolutely screams we're taking a running back in the first round of the draft. He's a depth piece at best. Najee Harris is with the Chargers now. Good riddance to him. He was never going to develop here anyway. I'm not shedding a tear over Najee Harris. Yeah, I get it. He's a likable guy and all, but let's be honest, guys. He was never going to develop here. He needed to get out of here. But Kenneth Gainwell is your depth piece with keeping Jalen Warren. Like I said, all this means to me is that we're going to go running back in the first round of the draft. And yeah, drafting running backs in the first round has gone so well for us, hasn't it? So I'm not expecting anything out of that. You get Brandon Eccles. If I'm even saying his name right, I don't. I know very little about him, so I really don't care if I'm saying his name wrong. But anyway, you get this guy from the Jets, and all you're getting is a guy who has started in a third of the games that he's played in. Okay, he's played in 57 games with the New York Jets. He was only the starter in 19 of them. So this seems like to me it's another depth piece. He's probably he's probably going to be depth to Darius Slay or JPJ. I don't know. But like I said, you're putting in a guy in your depth piece who's only started a third of the games that he's played in. I get he's young, but we keep using that excuse with JPJ. He's older than JPJ. So how much longer are we going to use the age excuse? And then, of course, you got the big one, DK Metcalf. Yeah, I get it. He's a big splash play receiver. Yeah, I get it. He scores a lot of touchdowns. But did you guys not learn anything from Antonio Brown? Did you not learn anything from that? He's a diva. Okay. The guy made a ton of headlines last year for all the wrong reasons. He's a diva. He picks fights. And with him being on the same team with George Pickens, who's also a diva, how do you think that's going to work out? How? They're gonna be fighting corners and they're gonna be throwing fists at each other because they don't get enough targets and they're gonna be, you know, crying about who's the number one receiver on this team. That's all it is. Basically, all you did was that you took Antonio with this trade right here. We gave up a second round draft pick, gave him the most guaranteed money in the history of this franchise as far as wide receivers go, or the most money offered to a receiver in the history of this franchise. I heard a 5-year deal. Okay, and basically all you did was that you took Antonio Brown, you wiped his mind clean with the CTE. Allegedly, I say allegedly he has CTE because he hasn't confirmed he has it, nor has he denied it, and I don't want to get sued. Okay, so basically, with this trade, is that you gave up a second round pick, which you really could have used if you wanted a receiver. You could have got a receiver in the second round of the draft if you really wanted a receiver that badly. Okay. You gave that up for basically taking Antonio Brown and making him younger. That's basically all you did with DK Metcalf. And you can laugh at the Seahawks all you want. Oh, they're blowing it up. Oh, they're going to suck this year. They're going to be last in the NFC West. You know, Sam Darnold's their quarterback now. They traded Geno Smith. Look, guys, you can laugh at the Seahawks all you want. Fact of the matter is, they're at least doing the right thing. Okay. They overachieved in 2022 and they made the playoffs. And then, sure, they got their asses kicked by San Francisco in the playoffs, but it was kind of like back then when everyone said they got fleeced with the Broncos trade with Russell Wilson. Everyone was saying that Seattle was going to be a bottom feeder. But hey, they overachieved in 2022 and made the playoffs in a year that was supposed to be a punt season for them. And they're like, maybe we can be competitive with this team. Guess what happened with Seattle? They missed the playoffs the past 2 years. And unlike us, the front office over with them said, we're not good enough to compete with the elite teams in the league. We're starting over. And lo and behold, what have the Seahawks done in the offseason? They have gutted everything. They have cleaned house. They have had a fire sale this offseason. The Seahawks are doing what we should be doing. We should be cleaning house. We should be getting rid of just about everybody on this team. And yes, that includes TJ Watt. I love TJ, but he ain't winning shit here. All right. If he wants to continue to run around on his hamster wheel, that's strictly his decision. Fact of the matter is, he's being held hostage and he should be playing for a title ready team. He ain't going to win a damn thing here. I mean that with all sincerity. All right. And I wanted to hold off on the DK Metcalf video in general because I wanted to see what the Steelers were going to do as far as QB goes. But then I remembered something. It doesn't really matter what the Steelers do as far as the quarterback goes. Okay. Because regardless, if last year taught me anything about the QB, we're screwed. We're not going to go anywhere as far what we do at quarterback, okay? We brought Mason Rudolph back for what? Fan service because the fans like him? Like, what are we doing? We don't have an answer at quarterback. Want to laugh at the Browns for trading for Kenny Pickett? Go right ahead. At least the Browns have somewhat of an answer at quarterback. What do we have at quarterback? What are we going to do there? Mason Rudolph is there just to put asses in seats and nothing more. Okay? That's all he's there for. You want to start Mason Rudolph all 17 games? Go ahead. You want to keep Russ, you want to keep corny Russ? Go right ahead. You want to get Aaron Rodgers over here, which I do not want Aaron Rodgers, by the way, okay? If we get Aaron Rodgers, I might rage about that, okay? I do not want Aaron Rodgers here. But you want to get Aaron Rodgers over here, a 41-year-old washed up quarterback whose best days are behind him? Go ahead. You want to put Skylar Thompson even in there? Go ahead. Don't matter what you do. You will not go anywhere this season as long as that scrub Tomlin is head coach. That is what we need to do this offseason is get a new damn head coach. Look at the Chicago Bears. They hired Ben Johnson as their new head coach. Chicago Bears, they're a more competent franchise than us at the moment. The Las Vegas Raiders, they got Pete Carroll as their head coach, someone that I wanted. Those are two guys right there that I wanted to replace Tomlin, Pete Carroll and Ben Johnson. And the Raiders hired Pete Carroll. The Raiders are a more competent franchise than we are. Where are we? Right in the middle. We're not terrible, but we're not amazing either. We are right there in limbo and mediocrity, and I am sick of it. Okay? That's how I feel with the Steelers right now. Apathetic, careless, disconnected. I don't give a shit. All right? That's all it is. Like honestly, the lack of aggression with the QB, the very underwhelming, you know, stages with the QB right now, what we've done, I honestly don't really even care what we do for the rest of the offseason because, like I said, all you suckers, you're going to buy into the hype. You're going to get excited about preseason wins. You're going to get excited about a hot start to the year. And then the next thing you know, the month of December is going to come around. We're going to go on a 3 or 4 game losing streak. And before you know it, you're going to get your hearts crushed all over again. And all I'm going to tell you is don't say I didn't warn you. Because what have you been watching for the last 7 years? If that's the case, it sure as hell hasn't been the Pittsburgh Steelers. But hey, I guess that's something in common that we both have. So yeah, none of these moves really impress me. None of these moves really excite me. It's just going to be another 9-win season, backdooring into the playoffs, and then you get blown the fuck out in the wild card by a great team once again. That's just how it is. We're just a glorified first round bye for the wild card. I mean that's just all we are. So yeah, that's really all I got to say. Let me know what you think down below. Have a good one.